A quick word on Richard Capstick. He's missing from the squad, of course, because he's got his international call-up. Incredibly proud moment for him, but of course you'll miss him in the team this evening.
Yeah, sure, we'll miss him, but you know, as I've said before, it's giving another lad another opportunity. He's got to grab it. If he does well, Richard's got to work hard to get back in the side.
That's something, isn't it, to think that you've got an international who might struggle to get back in. The team are warming up behind. They've been kicking the balls up, and it looks like it's going to be such a tough task. I think Mr. Maboj, your 15 is going to have a tough evening tonight. Yeah,
I think both 15s are going to have quite an amusing time. The ball's going to disappear over the stands, I think, but it's swirling around. It's not an easy win to read, so we'll just have to see.
You've mentioned being at the top of the league and perhaps it not being as important at the moment, but we've actually completed a circle where every team has beaten every team this season. It is a fantastic league to be involved in.
Oh yeah, no, it's massively good. As all of us have said, that any team on any given day can beat each other, and you ease off at your peril because you'll be punished. So, but it's really great. Playing strong fixtures every week is only great for the game.
Looking forward to this evening. Go well.
I hope so. Yeah, we'll see.
Kerry, last time we spoke, it was before what was arguably the match of the season against Loughborough. You came out on the wrong side of that one. You narrowly missed out against Hartpury as well. Are you the unluckiest team in BUCS Super Rugby at the moment?
Yeah. Unlucky, I wouldn't call it unlucky. It's rugby, isn't it? You know, last year we came fourth, and probably 4 or 5 of the results we came on the right end of it. So you know, this year it's not gone our way a little bit, and it's probably from our own doing. You know, our discipline. So which I like to think we fixed a little bit against Hartpury. So.
Well, speaking of that discipline, you have had a few cards, both yellow and red, but the penalty count was much improved against Hartpury last week.
Yeah, it was, and that's a pleasing thing for me. You know, the results, obviously a win would be great, but it didn't happen, and but to only give away about 5 or 6 penalties throughout the whole game prior to giving away red cards, yellow cards galore. You know, we had some honest words within that week building up to it, and hopefully we go out tonight and be as disciplined as we were last week.
Well, let's speak about tonight. It is windy and wild here at Headingley. That's going to, well, pose some new challenges.
Yeah, exactly. It's well, it's definitely going to dictate the outcome of the game, if I'm honest here. We've spoken about that. You know, conditions are going to play a part in how the game's going to be played, unfortunately. You know, so it's probably going to be an aerial battle, and who's going to win that aerial battle and territory battle will probably end up being the right end of the scoreboard. So.
Couple of changes in the side tonight as well. Conrad Cade has looked settled at hooker, but he moves to the bench tonight. What's the reason for that?
Just a little bit of a rotation, looking after him a little bit. He started every game, pretty much played 80 minutes. That's an area that we've had a few injuries in, and with Will Routledge coming back, who's an out-and-out hooker, and he's performed well the last 2 weeks off the bench, so he deserves a little shot at the number 2 shirt. And but you know, Conrad will play a big part. He's a senior member of the squad, and he'll have something to say during the game.
We spoke before the Hartpury match about how disappointed you were last time you played Exeter at the beginning of the season. A real opportunity tonight to right some wrongs from that one.
Yeah, it was green when I last spoke to you. I think, you know, that's a long time gone, that game, but certainly I know the boys have got some individual things that they'd like to address and make better than they did down there, and go from there.
And coming off the back of tonight, obviously a huge challenge, but in the run-up to Christmas, you have the potential to really put some wins together and make a dent on this league.
Yeah, we're not panicking within the squad we've got now and the coaching staff. You know, we had a good chat on Friday night, and you know, looking at the first 7 games, 5 of them have been away. So we've had a tough start, and you know, we've got a big chunk of games at home, as you said. You know, we've got to make sure that we keep our discipline right, and I'm sure we'll do okay.
Good luck tonight. Go well.
Thank you very much.
Counting down to kick-off, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Leeds Beckett, the hosts this evening, and they line up with Ryan Everly, Will Routledge in for Conrad Cade, and Xavier Valentine in the front row. John Okafor and Adrian Wadden are the settled second row. Johnny Teague is at 6, Toby Francis at 7, and Dan Grange is at 8. Connor Lloyd captains the team from scrum half, Stephen James outside him at 10, Harry Robinson on the left wing, Will Lewin on the right, with Ben Dixon and Gareth Stevens in the centres. Charlie Venables is at full back. Their opponents this evening, Exeter, 5 wins in a row. They sit top of the table, and the try machine, Josh Peters, is at 1. George Gosling captains the team from hooker, and Will Cutbill alongside him make up the front row. Charlie Morgan and Lasha Jainai are at 4 and 5. Paul Scrota, Jack Capon and Jack Rouse are in the back row. Pierre Thompson, he's not shy of the white line himself. He's at scrum half with Sam Morley outside him at 10. George Chatterton 11. William Hollis and Kieran Kelly in the centres. Charlie Davis on the right wing and Sal Maboj is at full back. Well, Tristan Lloyd, plenty of chat in the build-up to this one. Exeter, the first out onto the pitch. Leeds Beckett, 9th in the league, but plenty of confidence in this outfit, and they'll be looking to make a statement on the league this evening.
Oh, absolutely.
Cheers, lads.
First game of the season went down to Exeter. I think they struggled up front a little bit. Discipline let them down. Exeter had a lot of joy at the driving maul out. I think they scored 3 or 4 tries down there, so I think it'll be key for Beckett to start well tonight and get some points on the board early doors.
This is
The man who was just on the left-hand side of your screen there, Stefan James. The last time we were live with Leeds Beckett, they were on the wrong side of the ledger against Loughborough, but he was a player that really stood out. And in windy conditions,
George,
I can't help but feel as though his boot, Connor Lloyd's boot as well, they've got that kicking axis to really have a huge part to play this evening.
Yeah, Stefan James is playing really well.
Hang on.
He's, I'd say, one of the best players in the league, especially taking the ball towards the line. Really intrigues defenders and sort of creates the space for him. Connor Lloyd himself has been playing particularly well. Missed him for a few games, so it's good to have him back.
Jack Rouse with the first carry of the game, and it's a characteristic of his game. Loves the contact zone, and he gets over the gain line. Exeter's number 8. Exeter attacking the try line away to your right hand side, and it is a fairly stiff breeze that they're playing into in this first half. Pierre Thompson puts boots to ball and Okafor gets hands to it, and it's gone forward, and an opportunity for Leeds Beckett here in a great position inside the first minute.
It's always interesting to see how the first scrum of the game goes, particularly up front with these the large packs that both Exeter and Leeds Beckett have.
Well, all of the focus before the match was on the packs, which isn't necessarily fair because both have got plenty of talent out wide. However, absolutely enormous packs on both sides. Exeter very well organised, but Leeds Beckett very physical. Connor Lloyd keeping his ears warm in the scrum cap this evening. That's gone down on this near side. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. The second time these teams have met this season. The first was in round 1 down at Exeter, and Exeter put 40 points up that day. And I thought we were going to have a quiet crowd tonight, but they all seem to have appeared from the bar just before kickoff. They've timed it to perfection.
You can always trust the Leeds Beckett faithful to turn up.
Penalty, Leeds Beckett. There is Conrad Cade. Expect him to play a part at some point in this match. The prop turned hooker. And Connor Lloyd is going to have a crack at the sticks here. Usually this would be a foregone conclusion, such as his success rate, but in this swirling wind, I think they're all going to be a challenge this evening.
Oh, absolutely. Seeing the warm-up, the old post swinging in the wind, so hopefully keeps his kicking kick straight.
First chance at points, just to the left of the sticks, 25 metres. Connor Lloyd to give Leeds Beckett the advantage. Actually missed his first penalty against Loughborough students en route to that narrow defeat, but makes no mistake this time. Ideal start for Leeds Beckett. They lead Exeter 3-0, and that'll calm the nerves.
Oh, definitely. It's really important to get the sort of points on the board early doors and sort of calm the nerves a little bit.
Well, Exeter, not a particularly steady start from them after that Jack Rouse carry. Morley puts that one high into the wind, and that's gathered really nicely there by Gianni. Using the lift, buying some time, and Connor Lloyd gets a blocker in. And He's in no rushes, Lloyd. Doesn't get a lot of distance on that. Gets knocked back and it's back into Beckett possession. That line in your screen is the 10-metre line, so Leeds Beckett still well within their half as Valentine runs into a green wall. Steph James, first touch for him, switches play backwards, and Exeter very, very physical there. Ben Dixon, the recipient. Okafor wriggles free. How dangerous can he be? Into the Exeter half, looks for the offload, but Maboj makes a good tackle. He's back up on his feet, the Exeter 15. And for a confidence player like John Okafor, he'll have it running through his veins after that attack. Dummy and go from Dixon, back up over halfway for Leeds Beckett. 4 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. James steps inside, but he's driven back 5, then 10 metres. You won't want to make a habit of that. Gianni, the big second rower, doing the damage there for Exeter. Patiently going through the phases here for Beckett, but Conor Lloyd looking like he's going to put boot to ball this time. And he does. One for Robinson to chase. That's a good chase from Robinson. Makes the tackle on Maboj as we approach 5 minutes.
Looks like Beckett have a kick to compete plan implemented, but Exeter on the way out for now. Counter-attack from their own half.
Charlie Davis gets the offload away, finds Kieran Kelly in the scrum cap. He's brought down, signs of danger there for Exeter. Here's Rouse. Just outside the 22.
Exeter carrying on the front football, looking very, very dangerous. Now there's a bit of space out wide.
Here's Maboj. Oh, that's been ripped. Has that gone forward? No, says the referee. And which way is that going to come back? There are Exeter hands on it. Are they holding on? Not this time. There's a Beckett player down getting medical attention on the far side there. But a good attacking position here for Exeter. Dixon.
Beckett is short here, numbers here.
Footwork there on the left-hand side from Davis. He's brought down, but they're into the 22. He does look dangerous, the left winger. Now the referee has to bring that one to a close as
Johnny Teague, I think, is down receiving some treatment from the physio. Physio looks like on his shoulder, perhaps.
Looks pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think we could be seeing an early change.
Plenty of options. Let's have a look at the bench then. Conrad Cade, Theron, Sharalambu, Collins, Gulliver, Adamson, Davis and Kay for Leeds Beckett. Hamilton, the big prop, Matt Johnson, Harrison Folk, Ed Grinstead, White, Dikio, Matt Blee and Tommy Foote on the bench for Exeter. And Johnny Teague does look pretty uncomfortable. Look at the big man there, Jono they call him. Ginger lad with the white headband on.
I think we can see Gully coming on now, Gulliver. So he's played a little bit in Harlequins Academy. Played a bit out in Australia last year as well, so I think they rate him very highly up here.
Well, looking at the results, Leeds Beckett, they've been on the wrong side of the ledger more than they've been on the right, but look at those last two matches. 29-31 against Loughborough, of course, the red card and the yellow card costing them there, and then going down by 1 point to current champions and of course second in the league, Hartbury. They are in contention, that's for sure.
Absolutely. If you look at the results they've had, it's only really the Exeter game and the Cardiff Met game. They've not really been in it. So I think they've been unfortunate to be on the wrong side of results.
Well, Johnny Teague doesn't look like he'll play any further part. Scored a try from number 8 against Loughborough a couple of weeks ago. It'll be a big loss. But Gulliver comes on the flank. He's wearing number 20. Looking down an open side. And a steadier scrum this time. Oh, that's gone forward. Bad pass to Will Hollis.
It's great line speed, I think, from the Beckett backs here, putting some real pressure on them, enforcing the sort of error. That's all come from the sort of the hard pass, to be honest.
And there is Johnny Teague. Fingers crossed it's not too serious and he'll be back fighting fit in no time. First ball into the building site. Of course, we're here in this brand new south stand, mate. It's pretty sparkly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a specialist stadium. I think once the north stand sorted out and everything, I think there'll be some great games to be watched up here.
What I will say, and there will be a story to follow, is if you are lucky enough to come and watch a match here at Emerald Headingley and you are in the south stand, just be careful when you close the toilet door. There we are, that's our view. something brilliantly old school about it as well, where you've got the seats at the top and the standing section down at the bottom. I think you can have some great matches here in the not too distant future.
Yeah, hopefully they get the crowds in. Crowds have a few good games to watch and get them excited about it. As the first starter there from Will Routledge, he sort of nailed that. Good front football of the boys, and they've been knocked backwards, or some aggressive defence from Exeter here. And Conor Lloyd setting up for another kick to compete here.
And there's Harry Robinson, who's been favoured for the chase at the moment. He's lining this one up. He puts the pedal to the metal again. Not a lot of distance on that. That's a great take from Salma Boj. He's made a habit of that throughout the season.
It's a good carry there. Strong defence, knocks him backwards.
Jack Capon with the carry. Here's Morley. And they favour the left-hand side, do Exeter, as Kieran Kelly puts his head down, gets tackled in between the 10-metre line and the halfway line. Oh, massive
shot.
Paul Scrota would have felt that one. John Okafor. He hasn't put Jack Capon off. He puts his head down and takes another carry.
As John Okafor's back up in line again, some real intense aggressive defence here, putting Beckett right in the front foot.
Well, Okafor and Wadden doing the business there.
Let's go now.
Goodness me. Penny for Paul Scrota's thoughts. He'll have felt that as we approach 10 minutes here. Just the one scoring opportunity converted by Conor Lloyd. Leeds Beckett 3, Exeter 0.
Exeter going through the phases here, but not really going anywhere at all. Looks like they sort of try to put the ball down the Leeds Beckett half.
Again, Okafor nips out there looking for the charge down, and Venables can't get under that. Oh, and he could be in trouble there.
Be interested to see what the referee decides here. Just a knock-on, interesting decision that. It looked like the Exeter winger could have been in for a try if Venables hadn't intervened there.
Well, there are the Leeds Beckett finishers. The referee's assistant was in a great position there. He decided
Knock on.
pretty quickly that there was no foul play. But from our angle, that looked like it could have been late.
Yeah, looked pretty suspicious, eh?
Well, discipline is certainly something that Leeds Beckett have looked to improve. And as Kerry mentioned, just the 5 penalties against Hartpury, which compared to the previous week against Loughborough is a huge difference.
A massive improvement. I think that's one area they've really let themselves down this year: discipline, also game management, and playing in the right directions.
Let's take another look at this. Charlie Venables has got away with one there.
That could have been a card and a penalty for sure.
What we have got a great view of here, the 2 scrum halves moustaches. Of course, many of the clubs getting involved in the Movember effort. I think we're going to have another look at this John Okafor hit, just to check if Paul Scrota's still got all his ribs intact. Oh, it wasn't Okafor at all. It was Dan Grange in the side at number 8 today.
He's seen the opportunity there, see the ball bubble about, and he's gone full out. It's a great carry from the 12.
It is, and the offload as well.
It's been intercepted though. Turnover here.
Scrum advantage, purple.
Well,
advantage over.
It's not the cleanest of clearance kicks, and it's with Salma Boj. Goes to the right-hand side where he's got a couple of options, but keeps it in hand and draws the contact instead. Full width of the left-hand side for Exeter to work with now. That's their favoured side as Jack Capon puts his head down and takes them bang in front of the sticks. Kelly.
Leeds Beckett done well, shut down that space because there's a lot of open area over there.
It's Conor Lloyd who made the tackle. Sam Morley waits, but here Thompson has a little dart himself.
It's a maul. Should be a turnover here.
Hands out, no hands.
He's having a dig for it, is Thompson, and manages to get hold of it.
Good defence there from Ben Dixon.
So physical in the contact zone are Leeds Beckett. Rouse again.
Purple out of it, please.
First time we've seen Gulliver involved in the tackle zone. The substitute who came on early for Johnny Teague. Maboj, 2-man tackle on him, can't free the hands. Chatterton was there, waiting for the offload. Better period of possession here for Exeter as Scrota He's dusted himself off. Morley. Oh, there's the miss pass to Rouse, who Dixon drags him down by the bootstraps.
Rouse a real strong ball carrier, making some big inroads into the Beckett defensive line.
It's Charlie Morgan. Relentless carries from the Exeter back rows at first receiver. Inside ball there, looking for Chatterton.
Exeter looking at the ball really well. She can grind down Beckett. Look for the opportunity, look for a little gap in the defence.
Here's Hollis. More physical of the two carrying centres is Will Hollis. Josh Peters taking the ball a lot further out from the try line than he usually does.
Space out wide here if they can use it.
Well, Beckett drifting across. Oh, that was an important tackle, but only a half tackle. Charlie Morgan continues, and this as close as Exeter have come. 8 metres short. Cut Bill. And they're queuing up, but Beckett look organised in defence. Here's Maboj. Two-man tackle. Cutting him down at source. Bang in front of the sticks now. Here's Hollis.
Some more strong defence from Ben Dixon there.
Thought for a second Beckett had hands on it, but it's still with Exeter.
Oh, it's a strong carry.
Oh, wow. Good competition.
Oh, dummy and go there from Pierre Thompson. Oh, Leeds Beckett having to have their wits about them, and they've won the penalty.
He's on it. One straight to
I was going to say what the crowd is really cheer about. Right in front of the Beckett faithful there.
Well, that is the set of sticks that they're all behind. There was Pierre Thompson.
Gully's done really well there. Made the tackle on his feet, released and on the ball. Great work from the flanker there.
5 straight to ground.
15 minutes gone. Still Leeds Beckett 3, Exeter 0.
Looks like when the Exeter play again, a bit of a treatment there. Our shoes down.
Well, Exeter currently top of the league. They had that draw at Loughborough. That wasn't the live game. They narrowly missed out against Durham. All of their defeats have been narrow. Of course, Bath managed to beat them 36-31 when they were in that rich run of form. But since then, it has been victory after victory after victory. Northumbria and Nottingham Trent beaten quite handsomely as well.
With Exeter, they're a very well-oiled machine. So once they go on the front foot and start going through the phases, it's hard to stop them. So I think that's where sort of teams like Nottingham Trent and Cardiff have struggled to play against them.
And as we can see, currently top of the league on bonus points. Hartpury just behind them. 4 matches this evening, as well as this one. Hartpury host Bath, Durham host Cardiff University, and Cardiff Met host Nottingham Trent. And of course, we go up to Kingston Park for Northumbria versus Loughborough. If you missed the top of the show, then you may see that lots of the players out there have rainbow laces in their boots. But Super Rugby are in full support of the Rainbow Laces campaign, part of the Stonewall charity. If you'd like to know a little bit more, then make sure you Google search it. But if you watched any of the internationals this weekend, you'll see that the rugby community at large are fully behind the Rainbow Laces campaign. And hopefully you'll be joining us no matter what your involvement in the game throughout the week. There is Steph James.
Guys, that's yours.
Bit of a shrug of the shoulders from him there.
Ball's here, guys, at the back.
But as you mentioned, Will Routledge got his first dart right.
Ball, please.
In conditions like this, when you're coming into the team after quite a long layoff, of course, with Conrad Cade, he's been preferred at hooker. To get the first one, the first couple, that'll really settle his nerves.
Yeah, just get the first one under your belt. Really important for Routledge to sort of get underway. He's a natural hooker, so he's a big addition to get back in the team. Well, he's the second one as well.
And his good ball. It's down range with the carry there. Short ball. Will Routledge won't thank him for that one.
Scrum advantage.
It's gone forward off an Exeter hand, I believe. There's advantage coming to Leeds Beckett here, and Exeter have not had a lot of luck with those 50-50s in these opening 16 minutes. Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Valentine puts his head down.
Advantage over, and Exeter have knocked them back about 20 metres, so we're going to look to kick long here, I think.
The Cleanest of strikes. Maboj lets it bounce, doesn't have a particularly healthy bounce either, and James chases his own kick and makes the tackle as well.
Falls over the ball, is he? Has he got the turnover there? No, he's just safe.
Pierre Thompson has a look himself, takes some dragging down as well.
He's a big boy, that Pierre Thompson, isn't he?
Thank you.
Again, they turn to the back row. Scrota takes them up over halfway, and
Faster,
this time
please.
Exeter win the
Too
penalty.
slow out there. Number 1.
Ryan Everly giving the penalty away from not rolling away quick enough.
But a score update
Just a bit
from
faster,
around
please.
the grounds down at King Coyd. Cardiff met in the lead against Nottingham Trent, but only just. It's 11-7 there. That'll be early in the second half. This one kicked off at 7. All of the other fixtures around the grounds
I'll get you them once we
kicked
know.
off at
That's your
6:30.
Beckett.
King Coyd,
How
a
many
horrible
guys?
place to go and play.
6. Ball.
The first time I played at King Coyd, the very first carry I took, I got my nose put
Carl, when
across
you
my
get a chance,
face,
could you ask if they
and
can
I
have
don't think
someone
I'm the
over
only
this
person
far
that's
side
ever
of the
happened
ball?
to.
Welcome to Cardiff.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise we're gonna get a lot
Croeso
going
i
behind the fence,
Caerdydd.
we're gonna be struggling.
Of course, if you're a follower of BUCS Super Rugby, then make sure you join us on the 12th of December. We won't be at King Coyd, but we will be at Cardiff Arms Park for the Cardiff Derby as Met take on the University.
Ball, come.
It's a good match the first time round, and Cardiff Uni have improved massively since then. And they would love to get a victory over their city
Don't change
rivals
your mind,
before
eight,
Christmas
eight,
as Exeter
eight out.
get the
Thank you,
driving
good
maul going. They've made 10 metres here. It's just starting to slow up.
Green to
Gosling
ground, green to
has it
ground,
at the
play
back.
away.
It's gone to ground, so he's going to have to take it on himself, and he goes straight into Steph James.
Tackle
His
us,
front rowers
move.
know how to pick their targets.
Thank you, 1.
Exeter in a good position here as Hollis takes another carry. Now it comes. Maboj has got Chatterton outside him, but pins the ears back and goes himself 5 metres short, and they present the ball.
Yeah, strong carry. Some good straddle defence with Beckett here. Exeter on the front foot, looking to take it front line.
Here's Kelly. Maboj has his weight. They're only a metre short here. Fantastic opportunity for the visitors.
Forwards ears are picked up now, sense blood. And they've made it. Not sure who's dotted down there, but we've got our first try of the game.
Well, this is something that Exeter have made a habit of throughout the season. So clinical.
I think it's the big man there in the scrum cap waving his finger.
And the first try of the match goes to the Green Machine. Leeds Beckett 3, Exeter 5. And the easiest of conversions for Sam Morley as well.
We mentioned before the game how important Leeds Beckett discipline was, and you saw how effective the extra maul can be.
Well, they've had a few visits into the Leeds Beckett 22. The easiest of conversions, Sam Morley takes them up to 7. Let's take a look at the replay here. They knew exactly what they were doing. Kieran Kelly takes the carry. Who gets the hands on this? Will Cutbill's the man. He had a little bit of work to do there, did Will Cutbill?
Big man burrowed his way to the line there, didn't he?
Well, usually around there, it's Josh Peters who manages to get himself on the score sheet, but on this occasion, Will Cutbill. 20 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by EOT. Exeter have got their noses in front. Oh, it's a tight one at Gilman's, and Bath looking to get their winning run back on track and leading 6-3. Well, if the weather down there is anything like it is up here, I'm not surprised that it's a low-scoring affair. And we've also got Durham 5 points to the good against Cardiff as well. Cardiff with their first win of the season last week against Northumbria at home, and Durham with a brilliant win down at Bath. They'll be looking
unplayable, green scrum.
of course to get themselves back up to the top of the table, because they had a fantastic start. They've just slipped off the pace, Durham. Vulnerable when they go behind in games. But there is no such thing as a foregone conclusion in BUCS Super Rugby.
Blind! Set!
As the scrum packs down, Tristan, what's been your impression of this opening 20 minutes or so we've had here?
But it's been a tale of both defence, I think. Both teams defending extremely well. It's pretty even up front in the sort of set piece area. But as I say that, it looks like Beckett got their hand at the scrum time.
Well, that's the first time it started to creak. And those are promising signs for the host. Let's take another look at this. As the ball went down, it was Gulliver.
I think he's got a second turnover of the game there, making a big impact since coming on the bench.
And speaking of statements of intent, Conor Lloyd does not have a crack at the sticks. Instead, Steph James kicks for the corner. And Leeds Beckett look to fight fire with fire.
7 players. Yeah, use the line.
You see there's a lot of weight there coming from the Beckett pack onto the Exeter even before the balls come in. So as soon as that ball is in, they're shunting him off.
It's Conor Lloyd making the tackle on Jack Rouse that started it. Not scared to mix it.
Leaving the line out. You can't retreat to there.
And that's a silly error to make it.
Leaving the line out. Number 20.
Gulliver, after forcing the turnover,
As just I say, after such good work, he's sort of let Exeter off the boot there.
puts himself straight in bad books. You can see him just exiting the line there.
Just a wee bit of inexperience, hasn't played at this level much, so hopefully he'll learn from that.
So you can move. I'll talk to you
My
now.
favourite part of that was as soon as the whistle went,
the
the Exeter players giving the referee a round of applause like they knew what he'd given the penalty for.
6, please.
Either way, it's given them the chance to escape, and they've kicked as far, well, they're just shy of the halfway line. George Gosling, the captain, got his rainbow laces in the back of his scrum cap. That's good ball from him.
Lovely front foot ball as Jack Rouse carrying strongly again, made a very impressive start to the game.
And he is very, very reliable. Playing at 6 or 8 is Jack Rouse, and now is there a bit of space up the left-hand side again. Charlie Davis has got wheels. Cutbill, the try scorer.
Roll hooker.
Morley waits. Goes behind the back rows as they look to put some air on it here is Kelly. Just manages to get through Ben Dixon, but eventually finds the deck. Kaplan.
No leads, no leads. No.
Diving catch there from Scrota. Managed to.
They got Oxford's retrieved the ball there. So Beckett ball, it's done very well there.
Stolen. Then it's become unplayable.
Exeter having a lot of joy down the left-hand side there.
Then it's just a mess.
Seems to be creating a lot of space.
Unplayable.
I'm always fascinated by John Okafor because he spends so much time defending on the wing, defending in the outside channel, but then when he does get involved at the breakdown, it's so difficult to shift from over the ball.
Absolutely, I think he's one of those players you sort of get excited about when you see him open space and everything like that. I think they would like to see a bit more work in the tight, and that's exactly the sort of thing you like to see just there. That's where he can really improve on his game.
Keep that through, Lucen, please.
Just over 15 minutes to go until half-time. Our clock, we try and stop and start it with the referee, but it's not linked in with his watch, so if the clock does go red and your team is winning, don't get too excited because there might be some meat left on the bone.
Come a little bit more left, okay? Left.
And another look at that Exeter bench, very sensibly keeping those subs coats on because it is not a night for the faint-hearted. It's pretty chilly here up in Yorkshire.
It's pretty sharp up here. You get used to it after a while though.
You're from Fleetwood, it's not a lot better there, to be honest.
Bit wetter, less windy, bit wetter.
Crouch!
The wind's still swirling round here. Every time I glance over the posts, they're swaying in the wind. The crowd to the right of your screen, braving it though, and this time Exeter turned the screw in the scrum, and there's some work to do here. Well, Dan Grange isn't going to have the chance to because they've won the penalty. And signs of life in the set scrum.
Grange tried to put his hand in the blender there, but unfortunately unable to bring it away. And next have another opportunity to go to the corner.
Again, on a still day, these are kickable penalties. But Exeter so confident from close range.
That's yours, lads. How many?
Looks like Xavier Valentine just giving him the gap to go into and just taking all the space.
Come.
That's gone to ground. Is it legal? Referee's happy. They've rebuilt it. They're starting to come forward again. This falls to pieces, which is a rarity for the green machine.
Let it come. Stay there.
Done well to initially defend the first maul. Exeter set up to go again. Big carry from the try scorer.
There's Cutbill, drives towards the line as well. He's got the weight of Will Hollis behind him. Over the line. Is it down? Not this time.
Some great scramble defence there. Beckett seriously on the back foot.
5 minute scrum. Good defence.
When they get their big men going forward, Exeter so difficult to stop.
Just so well organised, so everyone knows their roles, everyone knows exactly what they're doing at the right time. Just becomes very hard to defend.
Scrum 5, Leeds Beckett put in. However, after the last scrum, they will be buoyed with confidence. Keep your eye on that far side. Josh Peters against Xavier Valentine.
Crouch!
Do apologise, of course, it's an Exeter put in.
Right, fellas. We've got both sides doing it. That side over here, this side over here. Get the space, or I will free kick one of the sides. Simple as that. You want to gamble on it being you? Yep.
Well, the crowd have fallen silent because they're under a little bit of pressure here. The hosts led 3-0 through Connor Lloyd's penalty. Cutbill put Exeter in the lead. Morley converted. Now Pierre Thompson has the put in here. Dare I say it, Connor Lloyd looks a little bit nervous. They've got no one on the blind side of Exeter. And they've won the penalty. How many of these will the referee let them get away with?
Get away from the arm.
Approaching half an hour, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti.
Scrum option.
And no surprise that Exeter go for the scrum again.
You can really tell they have the upper hand at the moment. Really putting that weight all through the loose head side onto Zav. It doesn't look like he's sort of being able to cope with it at the moment. Huge effort here needed from the Beckett pack.
There's been a change. Can't see who's come off, but Tommy Footwear, number 23, has come on. I think Salma Boge has gone off for Exeter. So the scrum pack's down again.
Down on the tunnel.
They were a lot better scrum that time, look from up here.
Reset. Madam. Pick Sergeants, keep that work up. Pick to that side.
Crowd's grown again. The lower tier of that stand pretty much full, and they're in good voice. Of course, so much building work going on here. That noise really echoing around the stadium as well.
Compete, guys. Okay, not too low.
Yeah, unfortunately the twos didn't have a game today. The 3s and 4s played against each other at home, and the 5s played at home as well. So all the rugby club out on force today, supporting the boys.
Good for them.
Crouch!
Do you know, it's been so long since I've been at uni, I can't tell who's in fancy dress and who isn't. Back to the action. Our clock ticking towards half an hour. This is the third time we've set this scrum down, and Exeter starting to come forward now. Keep your eye on Jack Rouse. He likes the look of this.
The ref's arms out as well. Advantage be played.
Connor Lloyd staying on side. Pierre Thompson might not be required here. It's been kicked out, but Thompson over the line. Second score for Exeter. Pierre Thompson increases his personal total and increases the lead of the visitors, 12-3, and it is clinical again from Exeter.
Yeah, the little scrum half, the big scrum half, sneaking away the forwards. Try that one. Forwards putting all the grunt work and the driving ball, and then a couple of scrums back to back, and he just opened up nicely for him to dot down.
Well, I'm not saying he's got previous with that, but his reputation precedes him. Either way, his team won't mind one bit. Pierre Thompson gets Exeter's second try of the match, and they lead 12-3. And really, since going 3-0 behind, they have been in the ascendancy.
Yeah, absolutely. Exeter sort of got kick with the bum, I think, for the 3 points there. They're just playing rugby in all the right areas, really. Couple of penalties, bit of indiscipline from Leeds Beckett, really allowed Exeter back into the game.
Here's Morley to swing the left boot and add the extras. Tries to draw one in and does it beautifully. Exeter 14, Leeds Beckett 3.
Bit of a Di Beckham special, that one, curled it right round.
And it was a slightly better scrum from Beckett. It didn't fold quite so much, but we can see Zav Valentine there just coming under pressure. As soon as he's out of that scrum, they don't stand any chance whatsoever. And it was a foregone conclusion from there.
Yeah, definitely looked that way. Definitely looked the last couple of scrums, the weight's really coming through that side. I think Zav could do a bit more weight going through the second rows behind him to try and help him out a little bit so he can sort of step into pressure.
Well, as this comes forward, now keep your eye on Connor Lloyd. Is he going to toe on this to try and disrupt Pierre Thompson on the picker? No, it was someone in the scrum. Anyway, we're back underway. Dan Grange fields the kick.
Strong carry back from Grangey.
Well, they've not really had much time on the ball in the last 10 or 15 minutes, have Leeds Beckett?
Hey, stay out of that!
Exeter put some nice double shots in as well.
Here's Okafor. Picks and goes, makes a metre and gets brought down on the halfway line. And Exeter very well organised in defence, keeping numbers either side of that breakdown.
Let's use nine!
Kind of going into the air here.
No.
Trying to retrieve the ball in the Exeter half.
Again, it's Harry Robinson favoured for the chase. Good take by Chatterton. Manages to get the offload away as well, and Thompson. Boyd after that try. Just tries to spot a mismatch in the middle, but Dixon makes the tackle. Now they go to the left again. Little dummy there from Charlie Morgan.
So a half break there.
Gosling. Over 10 metres into the final 10 minutes, should I say.
Big shot there from Connor Lloyd. Gap started to open up here. Beckett defence creaking.
No, 9.
He puts it about in defence, does Connor Lloyd.
He's not afraid to put it on the line.
No.
Again, Exeter queuing up to carry it first receiver.
Exeter just stands, poke their heads through the gaps here in the carries. But there's a turnover here. And I think Sam Theron's off for Zav Valentine, I think, after the last scrum. It looks like he might have got the turnover there.
And again, Stephen James is going to go for the corner. I've seen Connor Lloyd knock penalties over from this kind of distance, but not on a night like tonight.
No, I saw him kicking for the game and he wasn't too confident further out. So I think he backed himself a bit closer in, but around here I think it was best to keep the pressure on and try and hold the ball for a bit as well.
Of course, we've talked about how clinical Exeter have been, but in spending so much time on the ball, they have nullified that threat of Stephen James. He takes it to the line so well, but without the ball, you got no chance.
No, not really spoken about him all game, have we? And that's a bit of a rare occasion with Steph playing.
Routledge finds his man again. That is the 22 that Leeds Beckett are trying to get the drive going on.
Number 1, don't change your mind!
That's a metre
Number
made.
1, don't change from there.
Josh Peters gets warned. Heavily picks the ball up at the back for Leeds Beckett. A bit more organised now as they're urged forward by Lloyd.
Use it now!
He's told to use it. Oh, that was so tight. If that pass goes to hand, then it's try time for Beckett, but now Exeter stretch the legs through Chatterton. James has to come back and make the tackle.
Advantage, 10. No clear release.
Steph James could be in trouble here as well.
Clear release, tackle assist. Not clear enough. Tackle assist,
well,
no
that was a
release.
huge moment in the match there. Lovely flat ball. If that's in the breadbasket, then he's under the sticks.
Gareth Stevens, played so well last week against Hartbury as well, scored an outstanding 60-metre try. And you just thought you're putting money on him there to get under the post.
That was up there for try of the season, actually. If you've not seen it yet, then there is a try-like section on the BUCS Super Rugby social media. So we have a look at the Leeds Beckett finishes. Yeah, he's punched through the tackle on the 22.
He's gone straight through the 10 like an IKEA door, and then he's stepped the winger and he's into the sticks. It's outstanding to watch.
But Exeter find themselves back in the Leeds Beckett half. Approaching the final 5 minutes. Takes the ball cleanly. Both teams' lineups been very impressive, actually.
Still off.
Yeah, especially considering the conditions, been flowing very well.
Tackle, knee down! Thank you.
Options both sides here for Thompson, but he goes open and Cappan stumbles into the contact zone. Jack Rouse tells Will Cutbill to get out of the way before popping it off to Gosling into that final 5 minutes now. Morgan.
Some real strong ball carriers in this Exeter side. It's a big lead line.
Here's Cappan, receives the ball from the outside half. Morley. Foot still waiting for his first touch, nearly got it then.
No
Josh
hands,
Peters
ball.
carries instead. Hollis. Chatterton. Beckett scrambling well, but they have made a lot of tackles in this first half.
Yeah, their bodies will be feeling it. You can see as the game's worn on, the sort of tackles aren't being quite as effective, and Exeter poking the noses through the holes.
Hollis. Again, trying to create some space. There are bodies down, one from each side. It's George Gosling, the captain, close to us as there's a handoff there from Kieran Kelly. Charlie Venables has a tackle to make inside the 22. To bring play to a halt if it goes back any further, because there's a Beckett player receiving medical attention. So we're 14 on 14. Hollis. Here is Foot. Finds Charlie Morgan, who gets away from the first one, and what a cover tackle that is from Connor Lloyd. Keeps Exeter from scoring the third try as Rouse goes sniffing for it himself. 2 meters short, plenty of width to work with, but instead Exeter stay narrow.
Hands up! Hands up!
Scrota has a go, chopped down low. Jack Rouse adds a little bit of weight.
Not held.
Half tackle made on Capon. Ominous signs here for Leeds Beckett, because this is where Exeter do some of their best work.
Exeter looks to go out wide, there's so much space out wide as well.
Acres of space, and in fact Pierre Thompson had a little look, but they're going to stay narrow. He steps out and Morgan goes. Okafor makes the tackle.
Don't keep asking where I'm stood right next to you.
Referee having a good look at this. And for a second Beckett might have turned it over.
Still in, stay.
It's been presented. It's clean, it's patient. Cappan's going to have a go this time. Josh Peters gets his hands on it, loves a try from this distance, can't get there this time. Who's the next to have a go? Cutbill looking for his second score. Jack Rouse with his hands on it this time.
Advantage, high tackle.
A high tackle advantage coming as well, so it's a free shot for Exeter. Now they are bang under the sticks.
Beckett doing really well to hold him at the moment.
Still advantage. A reach for the line here from Scrota.
Really to guard the post here. Easy try here to dots against the post. Looks like they're going out wide, using the advantage.
Here's Hollis.
Strong carries, offloaded.
What an offload that is. Chatterton scores.
All right. Look after your own players. Go to your own players.
Another really strong carry from Will Hollis. Been impressive all game.
Exeter, go to your own players.
Well, that is a huge blow for Beckett after some heroic defence, but look at this for an offload. Will Hollis sucked in the defenders, somehow managed to free the hands, and Chatterton was there to finish just before half-time. And it's Exeter 19, Leeds Beckett 3.
Beckett doing really well holding them out on their own line, but unfortunately, when you're defending that tight, just creates the space out wide.
Half-time.
And Exeter really well sort of take the opportunity and cross over just for half-time, extend that lead.
Well, as you can see, the rain has just started to come down here at Emerald Headingley as well. The referee said this will be the last action before half-time.
Really attritional first half there. both teams carrying really strongly. Both teams trying to put those double shots in, knocking past the gate, back off the gain line. But towards the end of the first half, there just Exeter sneaking their noses through, get on the front foot constantly, and Leeds Beckett unfortunately not being able to hold out.
Where conditions are turning here, and Exeter will be very pleased to go into the sheds with this lead. Chance to make it maximum, which Sam Morley does, and he also looks like he can't wait to get off the pitch as well. 3 from 3 off the tee for that man. And at half-time here, Emerald Headingley, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. It is Leeds Beckett 3, Exeter 21. Four matches this evening, Leeds Beckett 3, Exeter 21. Of course, Hartpury, Bath, Durham, Cardiff, and the Archers of Cardiff met against Nottingham Trent as well. But let's concentrate on what's happening here in Yorkshire. And 3 tries. They haven't all gone to the forwards, but they've all been thanks to the forwards.
Yeah, the forwards have been very impressive, just giving them the foundations so the backs to sort of take the space. And I don't think Exeter will be too disappointed if the weather does turn to the rain comes in, the wind carries on, because that's where they've been dominating completely.
Oh, Will Cutbill got over first, Morley converted, and then Pierre Thompson jumping on the back of some good work by the forwards, let's just say. Take a look at it now. I think that moustache probably keeping his top lip dry in these wet conditions. But this was excellent work by the pack, as we can see Xavier Valentine popping up there, and he got replaced pretty much off the back of this phase of play.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 scrums back to back there. Zav just not quite able to hold him out there. You know, it's a bit strange how the scrums went, because the start seemed pretty even. Then Beckett got a penalty from the scrum, and after that penalty, Exeter just completely dominated really up front.
It's another look at this. No real stop in Pierre Thompson from their big physical scrum half. And of course, they all lick their lips when they've got an opportunity from here. Toby Francis attempting to make the tackle, but it was always going to be hard graft from there. And this was the 3rd score. What an offload this. And that is where we are at half-time. Leeds Beckett 3, Exeter 21. Well, we've not had much slick handling this evening. However, in the previous weeks, we've had some phenomenal scores. Let's take a look at some of the try-lights from last week.
Which isn't easy to do, let me tell you. The miss ball, it's a show and go from Henry Bobby!
tries of the week, I don't know which sort of try would.
Well, Gareth Stevens closing us out there with the try of the week. He'll be looking to get his hands on the ball more in the second half to get his team back into this. Cardiff Met have extended their lead on Nottingham Trent 18-7. Durham narrowly ahead against Cardiff University. Looks like that one's going to the wire. Bath and Hartbury are all square, 6 apiece. And of course here at Emerald Headingley it is Leeds Beckett 3, Exeter 21. 2 of those matches are within a score or less. Interestingly, we are 39 matches into the competition and 20 of those have been decided by a converted try or fewer, and I'm certainly not writing this one off as similar. However, for that to happen, Leeds Beckett needs some ball. They really struggled in the last 20 minutes of that half.
Yeah, the first sort of 20 minutes, they saw plenty of the ball, plenty of pressure on Exeter. Exeter going through the phases, we're going backwards, and ever since they sort of got a few penalties, went to touch, got a few driving mauls going, focus on the scrum time, it's been all Exeter. Beckett have not seen the ball.
Well, the crowd braving the conditions. They'll be hoping to see plenty of the action in the second half, because of course that is the end that Leeds Beckett will be attacking. If you're just joining us, then this is the BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti Rainbow Laces Special. All of the players have laced their boots up with rainbow laces for a good cause. Promotion of equality in the sport for the LGBT community. The international teams got on board with it at the weekend. It's something that's run in rugby, football and other top level sports for many, many years, and BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti are giving their full support this evening and on Friday evening at Northumbria versus Loughborough as well. If you'd like to know a little bit more, then a simple Google search for the Stonewall charity or the Rainbow Laces appeal will tell you everything that you need to know. Now, of course, you were captain of this team last year. We mentioned before you're now plying your trade with Yorkshire Carnegie. Seems like a fantastic organisation from the outside. What's it like from a player's point of view?
From my point of view, it's been a fantastic opportunity, really. I'm learning every day, going from sort of the amateur to sort of semi-pro environment into the sort of professional aspect's been fantastic for me.
And of course there is a huge link between Leeds Beckett University and the professional club as we see those conditions. This is not going to be a fun second half, but it was a little bit drier earlier when we caught up with Yorkshire Carnegie's Director of Rugby. Well, Chris, as Director of Yorkshire Carnegie, tell us a little bit about the relationship between yourselves and the university as a rugby club.
Well, I mean, Leeds Beckett University are crucial to the future plans and development of Yorkshire Carnegie, and I'd like to think that Yorkshire Carnegie are crucial to Leeds Beckett University rugby program growing as well. I mean, the support that the university provides us is world class, and I'd like to think in the future when we get to where we need to be that we can provide the same back to them.
And a huge opportunity for the lads who come through to get their education, but maybe have one eye on Championship Rugby as well.
Yeah, well, ultimately that would be one of the objectives, wouldn't it, for Leeds Beckett, to provide a pathway through to hopefully in the future Premiership Rugby. And if we can provide that vehicle and assist them to get the best talent into the region to play BUCS for them, then that's all good for us.
And you're here to watch the match this evening. It's going to be a windy and wild one, I think. Are you constantly aware of the talent that's coming through? Because there have been a lot of players in this side who've really caught the eye of the division.
Yeah, there's a number of them trained pre-season with us. So Colin and Kerry and a few of the players were down and joined us in pre-season. So yeah, I'm remotely aware. We've been to a few training sessions as well too. So, and I always try and watch it online when I can, and when there's a home game and I'm available, I always come along and try and watch and support.
And in terms of Yorkshire Carnegie, of course, we're here at Emerald Headingley this evening. The brand new stand is open. You're in the Championship at the moment, but tell us about what you're working towards as a club.
Well, I mean, the facilities, the infrastructure, the club's got everything. We're just not in the right division, so we've just got to put that right. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. We're going to strip it back, build the right foundation, and then move forward from that. So, you know, we're on the bottom of the table in the Championship at the moment, but we've got big plans.
Interestingly, Leeds Carnegie are currently, Leeds Carnegie as a university are currently close to the bottom of the table. Their performances don't necessarily reflect that. Would you say it's the same in your Yorkshire team as well?
Look, from my perspective and having watched these boys here, I think, I mean, they're probably flattering. They're underachieving at the moment a little bit, and Kerry's aware of that. So are the players, and I think a big thing in modern day rugby is discipline, and I think that's hurt these boys over the prior rounds. So if they can get that right, and I'm sure they can challenge Exeter tonight.
Enjoy the match this evening. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, match is coming up live, of course, on Friday, 7 p.m. kickoff. Northumbria versus Loughborough will be live from 6:45, so join us for that. The following week, Joe Burns is back in charge. It is Nottingham Trent against Durham, live from Lady Bay. Cardiff Met against Cardiff, live from Cardiff Arms Park. That is one not to be missed. And in the rain, Leeds Beckett coming out of that tunnel. There's big John Okafor. I think for them to get back into this game, they're going to need to turn to players like him to start to make an impact in this match.
With both, you got to step up both defence and attack. Like I said, towards the end of that first half, Beckett just couldn't keep the extra runners off the front line. So in terms to get back into this game, they have to start smashing them back in defence, get some front football, and looking after the ball as well. I think is it Sam Morley at 10 for Exeter.
Yeah,
he's ran the game very well. Will Hollis, Jack Rouse go over the game line particularly well, and Beckett has to really pull something out of the bag here, I think.
Sam Morley's going to get us underway in the second half. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Exeter attacking the try line away to your left-hand side. They're one try away from a bonus point. A bonus point victory, of course, would keep them at the top of the table going into the next round, but that's well taken over on the far side there in front of the building site by Adrian Wadden. At the start of the game, him and John Okafor really had that defensive duo moving well. Conrad Cade's come on, he's wearing number 16. Of course, much has been made of his transition from prop to hooker. As Conor Lloyd puts boot to ball for the first time in the half. There's Charlie Davis, lovely bit of footwork from him over the 10-metre line, and it is Conor Lloyd who makes the tackle. Must apologise to the wingers for getting the mistake, and in the first half George Chatterton wears 11, Charlie Davis wears 14.
And that's just the start Beckett didn't need. A good kick from Conor, a good chase, a missed tackle, and give away a penalty in their own half. Gives the opportunity to Exeter kick towards the corner and get that drive more going again.
Lovely step off the left foot. That is another one lost to the building company.
How many?
They're running out of match balls at this
6
rate.
players, use that line.
Looks like Conrad Cade's come on the back row. Looks like all front rows, Will Routledge, Ryan Everly and Sam Thron and Conrad Cade all on.
Well, that one's been turned over. Something Beckett did very, very well indeed against Loughborough. That's the first time they've had the chance to do it in this match, but Stephen James just drills that one down the throat of Tommy Foote, who's come on for Sam Maboge. Also made a change at scrum half as Pietro Di Chio's come on. Very different scrum half to the try scorer Pierre Thompson. Quicker around the fringes. Here is Morley. Speaking of those high tackles, Kieran Kelly might have been the recipient of one there, but the referee happy that he stayed low.
It's a good outside defence there from Beckett, pushing them back inside.
Andy Hamilton's come on wearing number 16 for Exeter.
Not survive.
So a couple of changes for both sides early in this second half. Peters. Sam Theron. Oh, John Okafor a little bit late on the scrum half there. It's a good tackle on halfway though. That's Gulliver.
Stay there. Stay there.
A couple of turnovers, but giving away the penalty as well, the replacement back rower. There's Okafor with his hands on the ball. There is Di Chio giving himself a bit of space before launching it into the night sky. Good take by Venables.
Venables has been very impressive this season so far, particularly with the ball in hand. They look to get him involved a bit more tonight, hopefully now.
None of those outside backs have really had the opportunity to express themselves, as Steph James has a little go himself.
So first sort of doubt we've had from Seth James tonight. He looked to get himself a bit more involved now as well. Take the ball to the line a bit better.
Okafor. There is Connor Lloyd and Toby Francis with the carry. International cap, of course, Toby Francis.
Yeah, Spanish international, got his first run out against Namibia a few weeks ago.
Good for him. One of the success stories of BUCS Super Rugby. As Connor Lloyd sets up the kick for himself this time. Will Lewin's going to be the man.
He's got in the field,
chase.
yeah.
Stop, Green.
Oh, that one's turned Steph James.
Looks like he's lost that in the wind a little bit there.
Inside, stop, purple.
He's hacked a few down the middle, James. Not really asked a great deal of the recipient, and Chatterton returns it with interest, and he skips around the tackle as well. Eventually he's brought down 35 metres from the line. Exeter bang in the middle of the pitch as Okafor makes the tackle.
Exeter really punishing these loose kicks. And the big prop found himself in the middle. First receiver has done well.
Not from there, purple.
They all think they can play 10. Speaking of 10s, here's Sam Morley. It's DeKeo trying to give quick ball as Gianni takes the carry. All those Exeter forwards so confident with the carry as Scrota takes the flat ball.
Looks like a lock on there. But as you say about the Exeter forwards, they all look so excited to get their hands on the ball. They're really excited just to get an early catch.
Right,
catching the ball on the run and carrying it hard.
Scrota stayed down for a little bit there. The physio came on.
Time off, please.
Looks like he's happy to continue. Going to have a brief bit of respite. And Exeter really picking up in the second half where they left off in the first.
Yeah, really putting the foot on the throat at the moment. And just look at a few of the Beckett changes. I think there's a lot of changes there. Looks like Tom Collins has come on, as has Conrad Cade. So I think Dan Grange and James Gulliver are off.
Down there. Yeah, if you'd have had another penalty in that sequence, you would have got one. So that just because it's changed the player.
And the Exeter players getting some treatment to a nasty little head injury, bit of scarlet gushing out from the head there.
Not on a warning, but you're not far off.
I'm sure he'll mind that too much. He'll want it patched up and to get back on with it. Speaking of Toby Francis, I've never seen anyone look quite so happy on a rugby pitch as he was when he got cut open against Hartbury.
Well, that was one for the social media. I think he spread it about quite a bit, sort of emphasising his hard man persona.
Has he got a hard man persona?
He likes to think so.
Well, the blood not stopping, but the clock has, so time on our side here.
Yeah, nice little bit of injury. It was the big man Matt Johnson coming on.
I'll give you a thumbs up or a no if it's a no. Just want to make sure you've got someone on. You're on, thank you. Time on.
He is a big man as well. So Will Cutbill living up to his name. And he is replaced by Matt Johnson.
Left him for the space, please.
Man who's come up through the teams. Did a 20-minute stint against Northumbria, and the scrum improved massively. It was already going forward. But just look at the size of him. Andy Hamilton, the replacement hooker, struggling to reach all the way round.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
And he slides in at tight head.
He's looking to get forward there. Plenty of weight coming through.
Stay there, Scummer!
He disrupted it, but illegally.
Toby Francis packing down at 8 in this second half. So Leeds Beckett have very much run the changes. I suppose when you're 3 scores behind, you need to throw caution to the wind.
I think most of these have been enforced, to be honest. Looks like Toby Francis picked up a little niggle there as well. Could need a bit of attention.
Yeah, because you're in front of the back foot playing the opponent. That's yours, yeah. Back foot of the flanker. Numbers, lads, please.
He's looking quite some discomfort, does Toby Francis.
I just want to go see what this is here, please.
And I think from the forwards' point of view, there's only one more substitute left on the bench. He's the front rower, so we could be looking at 5 front rows in the pack.
Make of that what you will.
Injury. It's not head, we're carrying on. Guys, we're going to carry on, it's his hand. We're going to carry on, it's not head.
Not much sympathy there from the referee, looking to get the game going at a big pace.
Jamie Leahy refereeing this evening. No nonsense from him. Will Routledge.
Yes, we're playing.
He's been pretty accurate with his darts so far. Short numbers, put up at the front and quick ball as well.
Good clean ball, and Conrad Cade in the charge. He's knocked backwards.
It's a big commission on Conrad Cade. Loves to carry, but they had the chance to line him up as Steph James has a go himself. Pietro Di Chio has to make the tackle. He's got that sort of lateral, almost crab-like movement, doesn't he, with that side step. Stephen James.
Not much shape there to the Beckett attack, and the ex-defenders lining up 2 shots all day here.
It's going to be difficult for them to escape from their half with this one-up stuff, with that green wall in front of them. They're approaching the 10-metre.
Good carry there from Routledge.
And now James back in the attack. Cade goes through as a blocker.
There he goes up in the air. Will Looney's get underneath this, compete.
Oh, it's a good competition as well. Look for a second. Like Loon was going to come out on top, but Charlie Davis does very well. And the ball back with Exeter. There's Matt Johnson, a first carry for him. He does have to remain on for the rest of the match. He's known by Keith Fleming as the 20-minute man. He's going to have to do 30-35 here. A bit more depth on the kick. James gathers it over his shoulder this time.
There's a bit of space there. The replacement hooker there's done very well. Andy Hamilton, good little tap tackle there.
Just to look for a second like a gap is going to open up. Jack Rouse trying to impose his physicality.
I'm right here.
8 minutes gone in the second half. It's not really come to life due to the injuries as Scrota. It's a big tackle on Theron there.
Scotland has put himself about a bit today, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been very good. After wearing that tackle in the first few minutes, he's certainly dusted himself off.
A loose kick there from Connor, straight out to touch outside 22. So we're back to an extra line out, 2 metres outside the 22.
Here we are.
As we can see from the AR's flag there,
That's yours, purple.
the wind favouring Exeter. It's
Guys,
actually a lot
in the gap,
windier than
please.
that AR's flag will have you believe.
Especially when the ball's going up in the air as well.
Oh, it's been knocked on.
Advantage! Knock on
Chance
advantage!
there for Leeds Beckett, but they've knocked it on at the tail, and now Exeter come forward through Kieran Kelly.
Tackled!
Does well to get a knee to the ground there as 2 big Beckett defenders are attempting to keep him up.
Over. Tackled!
Jack Rouse again. Lost the scrum hat for the second half. Gone with the tape instead as Okafor.
It's good pressure
came
there.
out of the line and Conor Lloyd joined him.
Purple.
Front foot ball here for Beckett. First time had this for a while. It's been slowed down.
And here is James at second receiver. Referee not giving either team a particularly long time with the advantage as Leeds Beckett are on halfway. Not been able to build any kind of territory pretty much in the match, let alone this half. Now they do find themselves in the Exeter half. A
strong
rare
carry
foray.
from Theron there. Adrian Ward looks to pick and go, keeping the front foot there. But unfortunately he's been isolated and Exeter managed to turn over.
5 isolated.
Well, look how many Exeter players were around that ball. They know exactly where it's coming from as Sharalambu will eventually come on the field of play. So as you expected, 5 front rowers on here for Leeds Beckett.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the pack shapes up now. Interesting, you can see who goes to 8, who packs down 8, who packs down the flanks, and who stays in the front row.
Set 1. How many, please, guys? Hooker, just wait. Just wait. Let's go.
Andy Hamilton. Full numbers here for Exeter. It's been turned over again. That's 2 in this half.
The Leeds Beckett line of defence really keeping them in the game at the moment. Some big turnovers.
Theron with another carry. Expect plenty of that with the amount of front rowers on the pitch now.
No 5.
Big lads with their head down, but Exeter keen to get their hands on the ball.
Conor Lloyd takes quick tap, he's away, a bit of gap, bit of space there.
Up over halfway.
He's keeping the ball on the front foot now. John forward into the game.
What we get, guys?
Better from Conor Lloyd. His pace is something that can make a difference in this match, but look how quickly Exeter smother Steph James.
Let the ball come.
They've highlighted where the dangers are, and they're snuffing them out into the last half an hour here. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Leeds Beckett spending a lot of time around halfway, but not really able to punch any further in.
No, the Exeter line speeds are very, very impressive all game. And those double shots just sort of slowing the ball right down.
Back foot again.
So enforcing Beckett to go to the back when it's not quite on.
We've got confirmation of a full-time result down at King Coyd. Cardiff met 28-12 victors over Nottingham Trent. Of course, both teams losing last week, so the Archers will be delighted to get back to winning ways. And as you mentioned, King Coyd, horrible place to go. That seems to be a general consensus around anybody who's ever played there.
Oh, it's horrible. We played there down there last year. Horrible conditions, raining down, mud, and obviously doesn't help the crowd. Pretty ferocious crowd down there as well. So they get on your back quite a bit.
It's going to be 6 players, lads, when we get going.
Vocal to say the least.
Passionate, I'd say.
Well, when we were down there a couple of weeks ago, they brought the pots and pans, everything from the kitchen. Always look forward to going down to the capital of Wales.
Looks like Priest Cheryl Ambus is on instead of Ryan Everly. So we don't have the 5 front rows on the pitch as I'd expected. Looks like Toby Francis is going to play through that little niggle.
Trainers off!
It's a hand injury he went down with. I think when you're short of substitutes, that's just something you're going to have to get on with, I'm afraid. Oh, short to the front of the line up there with the scrum half was waiting. I don't know how they didn't read that. And now, Foot gets through the first tackle. Good work from him. They've not missed Maboj at all. Rouse. Cheryl Ambus made the tackle on Rouse. Straight into the action again. John Okafor comes out of the line but just puts the brakes on. I think that was a smart move from the big second rower.
Been impressed with DeChios has come on, really getting the ball away from the ruck quickly.
Yeah, 2 very different scrum halves. Both capable of making an impact on the game, and there's another example of it. Quick ball. Charlie Davis looks to get it moving. Cut Bill back on the pitch after that blood bin. They've got some air back in the lungs and they're looking to add to his tally. As Chatterton takes the carry and Conrad Cade with the tackle. Scrota.
Exeter once again half breaking these tackles, getting a yard or 2 every time, just keep it on the front foot, make it really difficult for the Beckett defence to realign.
A lot of this opening 15 minutes of the second half has been played in this exact zone between halfway and 10 as Takeo puts boot to ball. Is there a foot out there? No, says the AR.
Look very much like the like they caught that in touch and played on, but the flag stayed down. But we've got a penalty here, I think, for offside to Leeds Beckett.
In front and advancing.
A lot of the rugby being played in this middle third, but it's pretty frantic in terms of the pace.
Yeah, it's neither team really getting a foothold in the game this half. So it's very much a battle of who can carry up the best at the moment and then sort of turn over the ball.
James finds touch. Surprise, surprise, in between the 10 metre and halfway.
Changes for Leeds, please.
Conor Lloyd, captain, coming off for Dan Grant Adamson.
4 players, 4.
Johnny Kay coming on as well.
Steph James coming off as well, so double change at half back.
Wait.
Dan Grant Adamson, very much different scrum half to Conor Lloyd. Likes similar to the Shield, likes to get the ball away quickly, keep the players on the front foot.
I think Leeds Beckett realising that tempo is going to be the key to get him back into this one. Here's Davis, looks to put boot to ball, and it's not the ideal start to proceedings for him. Oh, he's managed to turn it back over again.
Tackled.
Well, he's magicked something up there. Durham 23-7 up against Cardiff. That looking like a victory for the Palatinate. In fact, that is confirmation of the full-time score.
Big shot from the Jack Captain there, Exeter.
2 big wins in 2 matches there for Durham. That's a good pick-up over on the far side. Toby Francis using that international experience to keep the ball alive for Leeds Beckett.
Dual code international, 7s and 15s.
Release screen.
It's all going off. Didn't see that one on social media. And another penalty for Leeds Beckett.
His knees down, you know better than that.
There we go, Kieran Davis got a massive boot on him, so hope we can put this down in the corner.
If his knee's down, it's very obvious. I did shout release too. Wasn't borderline. Oh no, it wasn't. His knees were on the deck. Knees are down, he's done.
There we go, back into the Exeter 22 the first time this half. A lot of pressure on this drill now.
Time number 7,
the ball,
please.
get down and hopefully get forward in the maul.
He's coming to you.
I can't remember another time in the match when they've been in the Exeter 22. It's been
6.
Rare
6
forays,
players,
to say the least. There's cap on.
Time on.
And that is the first job done.
Big weight on the outside of that maul from Exeter, but Leeds Beckett have built.
Hey, don't change
your mind.
Going
going too far. Start creaking forward at the moment.
Grant Adamson
16, don't change.
with a hand on, waiting for it at the back. And not a lot of space on that blind side for Leeds Beckett. They'll have an eye on that touchline.
Through the middle.
Recycle the ball here quickly. He's done well there, Will Routledge.
It's very narrow for Beckett though. Charlie Venables is the widest player and he's bang underneath the stick. So Okafor.
Back foot 20.
A couple of tries against Loughborough a couple of weeks ago. Very similar position to this. There's Davis, the replacement outside half. It's taken all the way back to the 22.
It's a rock.
Not sure it was the right decision to go out the back there. I think you try and dent through the forwards a bit more. Get Ben Dixon involved a bit more as well. Big carry inside centre.
Sam Morley with the tackle there. Lovely offload out the back door as well. Collins receives it, but he's bundled into touch.
Knock on into touch.
We're approaching the last 20 minutes. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. It is a scoreless second half so far.
Lovely bit of play there from Charlie Venables, but not quite aware of the surroundings there. Needs to go back inside, recycle the ball, maintain a bit of pressure, look after the ball.
Dan Grange on the touchline, looking like he's going to return to the action.
Dan Grange been out with a knee injury, had a bit of surgery on it, so last week was the first game back. Try and just manage his game time a little bit.
Well, knee injury, of course, something that's very close to your heart at the moment. How is the recovery going?
It's a steady process. Did my MCL against Bedford about 7 weeks ago, so a bit of full training this week hopefully now, hopefully no repercussions, and then back up for selection next week hopefully.
Very 19 best of luck with that. Referee confirming that 19 minutes of this second half have gone. Scoreless in the second half. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Wins for Durham and Cardiff Met already this evening.
Who's the captain now, guys?
Waiting for the Hartbury score to complete the set. Don't forget to join us on Friday night as well, as we're at Kingston Park for Northumbria versus Loughborough. A Loughborough win, and they actually go above Northumbria in the league, which was something that was unthinkable 3 weeks ago.
Looks like Dan Grange's come on for Sam Theron here, so Conrad Cade earning his keep, and it's the tight head now.
The line in sight is the Exeter 22.
Set.
Leeds Beckett with a rare bit of territory, but they're not in possession here.
Use all reset. Play.
Much better scrum there from Leeds Beckett. Weight coming all through on Exeter.
Oh, it's been knocked on as well. Advantage coming. Can Leeds Beckett make it count? Not this time. Davis.
I'm looking there. I'm looking, buddy.
Well, I think he was looking for the glory offload there.
There we go, give something for the Beckett crowd to cheer up for. Get a bit of noise going again. The scrum under the sticks. After last scrum, they'd the Beckett pack be frothing for this one.
Well, plenty of time left in this match, but you feel as though if Beckett are going to get anything from this match, then they need to score here. Exeter so confident, even with that scrum going backwards, still looking to run it out of their own 22, but George Chatterton just taking his eye off the ball. And now the crowd find their voice. Grant Adamson, the replacement scrum half. Penalty, Beckett.
Be interested to see what the decision here. They go for a scrum again, or they go for the corner.
Well, they have to go for the scrum, surely. 2 strong scrums, although remember, in the first half they had that strong scrum and it was a false dawn.
Yeah, it looked like they had the upper hand in the first few scrums of the game, but it's been all turned since then. It looks like it's gone full circle at the moment.
Head on head, left and space.
Well, they're 8 metres out.
1 and 3, please, Exeter.
And here comes the big recruits from Exeter, look to show up the scrum in front of the sticks.
Harrison Folk and Matt Johnson coming on for the last 20 minutes.
Hips connected, go left. Go left. Hips connected, go left.
And the Leeds Beckett supporters make Matt Johnson feel very welcome here at Emerald Carnegie. But he made a huge difference against Northumbria. Laws of physics state that he's going to take some shifting, and after 2 loose scrummages for Exeter, they brought on the reinforcements. Oh, and straight away, look at the difference they've made. But here come Leeds Beckett. There's the first offload. There are not many options. And they sling it out to Johnny Kay. Advantage coming, and I feel as though that was 1 or 2 phases too soon, and the chance is gone.
Yeah, this needs to look after the ball there, create a bit of pressure, recycle the ball. Hope Exeter made a mistake, but coming out of that so early, just giving the ball right back to Exeter.
Would you say that's been the difference between the 2 sides, is Exeter's ability to look after that ball in those tight phases?
Exeter looked very composed when we've had the ball. So looked very frantic. Beckett trying to look after the ball.
Johnny Kay manages to stay in field there, does very well because there wasn't a lot of space. And here's John Okafor, slows down into contact and gets wrapped up by 2 or 3 Exeter defenders.
That's where you really want John Okafor to really put his head down and drive his legs. That's a good little bit of play.
Oh, what a catch there from Cade, and now the numbers are on for Beckett. Has that gone forward? No, says the referee, and it's somehow come back on their side. It's scrappy stuff from the hosts, but they're still on the ball.
Went for the glory pass there and really should have kept it in hand. A few little pops and they were behind them.
I think they had a 3-man overlap there. It was at least 2 as Okafor threatened to get through for a second. Bang in front of the sticks on the 22. 17 minutes to go. There's Dixon.
It's isolated there. Some good dents there, some good busts from the Leeds Beckett runners. So it needs to keep on the front football, keep denting, keep busting, and hopefully shorten the defence.
Okafor stayed down. He's just getting back to his feet now. Again, there could be the suggestion of numbers here for Leeds Beckett. Into the 22. It's a 2-on-1. And they're over the line. Toby Francis makes it Leeds Beckett 8. Exeter 21, and boy oh boy did the home team need that.
That was a great little try. Just saying all games, look after the ball, keep those hard runners going hard, take it to line, indent. You're eventually going to bring the defence in short. Now it creates the overlap out wide. Hy Robson's done very well there. Brought the last defender and offload to Toby Francis, who finished fantastically.
About 16.
Well, I can't believe he was celebrating before he went over the line there. He's getting some more attention to that right hand injury. But a much needed touchdown there for Leeds Beckett. And their response following this, so important now.
Absolutely, it's important now. They look after the ball from this restart, exit well, and get back down the extra half. They'll hope it opens up a little bit now as well.
Tough conversion into the wind. Splits the uprights, and it's Leeds Beckett 10, Exeter 21.
Kieran Davis got a massive boot. Seen him knock it on for his own 10 metres.
Rory Robinson, fantastic work from him then. Drew in the 2 defenders and showed composure, which is something that Leeds Beckett have been guilty of.
Yeah, Hy Robinson gets about his work very effectively, very quietly. He's a very strong runner on the ball. Always takes at least 2 or 3 players to bring him down.
15 minutes to go. Leeds Beckett 2 scores behind. It's taken them 25 minutes of this second half, but they finally got something to show for their efforts. Exeter scoreless in this second half, and they go deep with the restart as well. There's Dan Grange back on the pitch.
It's a big carry straight to the replacement scrum half there.
Here's Okafor. He's backed up. Wrestled down by Will Hollis.
John Okafor really become present in his last sort of 5-10 minutes. I think it's been one of the main reasons for the Beckett improvement performance, him getting his hands on the ball and getting forward.
Not much distance on that box kick, but it's something for Venables to challenge for. Has that gone forward? Yes, says the referee. So advantage coming here for Beckett, but with those front row replacements, they won't particularly be looking forward to scrum time.
Shift that well. He's shifted again.
Advantage over.
There's Gareth Stevens. We know what he's capable of after last week. Gets up over 10 metres.
Yeah, likes getting the ball in open play.
Well, the wind has completely changed direction now, and it's blowing in favour of Leeds Beckett. Rain coming down. These are not favourable conditions as Okafor busts through the first tackle, but there are 2 men on his top half, 1 on his bottom. And has he been turned over here?
Trapped in. He's just trapped in.
There you go, ball's becoming unplayable. So recycle there for Leeds Beckett ball at scrum time.
And that gives you an idea of the conditions here at Emerald Headingley. That opening match of the season, Nottingham Trent versus Loughborough in the sunshine at Lady Bay, seems a long, long time ago. Warm subs coach there.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Dan Grange had to work pretty sharply at the base of the scrum last time. And again it comes forward from Exeter. Matt Johnson, what an asset to have, but at the blind side now. Oh, what a wonderful break here from Davis. Gets the offload away. That left-hand side is where the damage is being caused, but they've been bailed into touch, and that is sharp defence from Exeter, but they're back inside their own 22.
Yeah, Dan Grange done very well at the bottom of that scrum there. Offload to Grant Adamson, he's off. You're pretty sure he's giving the ball to Ty Robinson. You think he's in the corner with some great cover defence.
Scrum option.
Oh, Grant Adamson. I wonder if next time he might put a little grubber in and go himself. He looks... Well, he's not short of a yard of pace, that's for sure.
No, very sharp little player, been Ealing for the last couple of years, so he's pretty experienced. Been a good addition to the Beckett squad this year.
Just keep shoulders high, lines high.
Ball actually went forward before it went into touch. So Exeter with the put in through Pietro Tacchio. Beckett looking to get the shove on this time. What a contest this set scrum's become.
Yeah, it's looked like whoever's put the ball in is on the back foot, doesn't it really?
Oh, it's been dropped again. Backwards, says the referee. Looked like it could have gone forwards here, but look at this work from the Beckett backs to bundle them into touch. Johnny Kay alongside the 2 centres, Dixon and Stevens.
That's some great work there. I think Exeter wing are very fortunate there to get away with that knock on, but yeah, the Beckett backline doing fantastically well. It's pushing towards touch. And now we have an opportunity here. Opportunity to get the ball going again, create some more pressure.
Use the line.
Discipline required for both sides. Remember how long Exeter spent here in the first half.
We're starting inside.
Try before half time.
Inside if you get the ball.
It's a real gut punch for Leeds Beckett after all the defence they did. But if you maintain your discipline, eventually something has to give.
Well,
it's a good build here. Seems like the more starting to creep forward a little bit. Exeter trying to spin it open, smash from the outside.
Don't change back. That's one. He's got to ground himself.
Referee
play
the players exactly where he wants them here. He's done a good job this evening as Jamie Lee.
It's Moonwall. I'm not sure who's got the ball here. Have to do well to dig this one out.
The opportunity's gone. Exeter so well disciplined there. Nothing seems to faze them. They never look panicked. You alluded to it earlier. Everyone in this Exeter squad knows their job Doesn't matter where they are on the pitch, they look organised, they look composed.
I think that point is emphasising more towards the maul defence. Everyone knows their roles, they know exactly what they're doing. Their front four, they're trying to twist it around, just hit it from the outside, keep twisting until it becomes completely open. They can get on the ball.
Sav Valentine coming back on.
Kerry Wood really trying to utilise these rolling subs, trying to give the boys a bit of breather, get them back on the pitch.
10 minutes to go here. Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Xavier Valentine going up against Harrison Folk here. Just a reminder, Tristan, that in about 5 minutes' time, I'm going to be asking you for your Yoti man of the match. So have a good think about it. Can be from either side.
Yeah, there's been some stand-up force from both sides, so it's going to be a tough decision today.
Good scrum, guys.
Jack Rouse.
He was one of the culprits. I think he's been playing very well, carrying the ball particularly strongly.
And he's had a good season. Missed a couple of games a few weeks ago because of a concussion.
19 offside.
Got to look after the old noodle. When he is in the side, they generally go forwards, and Exeter have won the penalty there. It just feels
19 and 12.
like they've released the pressure valve a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was key that Beckett came away with some points there to try and get, if they had any chance of winning the game. But as has been the case throughout the game,
how many, please,
build pressure and then a mistake lets them off.
6 players, please, Beckett. 6 players.
There are the Exeter bench.
Thanks, lads.
Josh Peters among the substitutes now, not able to get over the whitewash. He's got a tremendous try-scoring record.
Lineouts for both sides today has been very impressive considering the conditions. Some quick, clean balls on both sides. Again, that Beckett discipline letting them down.
Ball on wrong side, block the ball. Cleared out, fall on wrong side.
A few mistakes, and Exeter are going to be able to kick themselves into the Beckett half. There's Keith Fleming looking to mastermind a 6th consecutive victory for Exeter. Keep them at the top of the league. They'd love to turn a win into a bonus point win as well.
We'll use this line here, Beckett. Rugby league lines. 6 again, lads.
Line out between the 10 metre and the 22. Oh, Cathard, at the second time of asking. It's fingertip stuff.
That's one!
Initially sacked them all well, but Exeter have rebuilt here. Going backwards and they shift the ball.
Better more defence there from Beckett.
Tackle, release purple!
Will Hollis carries in for the green machine. Little dab in behind, should come Beckett's way. Oh, that's well picked up off the bootlaces as well. That is not an easy pickup in these conditions. Needs Beckett. Go wide early. Charlie Venables been starved of opportunity in this match.
Yeah, they shut him down extremely well. Shut down the main men for Beckett all round, to be honest.
Tackled.
Exeter defence been suffocating.
Hold 5.
Kick
Hold
early.
4. Okay, now.
Looking to put pressure on Morley here as he goes up, takes that well, but he's drilled by Venables.
No,
chases the kick. Sorry, that was Conrad Cade who chased the kick and made the tackle. Diving catch in the slip cordon there from Will Hollis.
It looks like Will Hollis has pulled his hamstring there.
Knock on in presentation, lads.
The ball's gone forward. Yeah, Hollis does not look comfortable down there at all.
Maybe he was hit by a bit of cramp or something, but he was galloping in towards that last bit of contact.
The crampy conditions actually, aren't they? Cold, wet.
Time off.
Need to get yourself hardy for the winter.
Yeah, especially up north, yeah.
Well, before we have the decision then, let's have a conversation about some of your preferred players of the match. Who's impressed you this evening for both sides?
For Beckett, it's been a tough night. I think towards in the second half, John Okafor's put his hand up, so carried well, and that's what got Beckett back into the game. Ben Dixon's carried well, unfortunately not been even if the Beckett backs, not really had much of an opportunity to run or nothing. On the Exeter side, to be honest, the Exeter pack's pretty much won them this game. And off the back of that, it's been it's been easier for Sam Morgan to run the game. He's been very, very effective in running the game, organising his runners and his pods around him in the pack. Paul Trotton has carried well. Jack Rouse been very impressed with, and also Will Hortz has carried particularly well.
Well, while we're packing down and we have another look at this set scrum, then let's have your Yoti man of the match for this evening.
Just for his ball carrying tonight, it's been extremely effective, and I'll give it to the Exeter number 8, Jack Rouse. Been very, very impressed with him.
There he is, man of the match. He's had an outfit change like Lady Gaga for this one. He was scrum cap in the first half, he's ear tape for the second, but he's a relentless ball carrier. And Jack Rouse is the Yoti man of the match. A few minutes to go here, and Leeds Beckett have managed to kick themselves back into some kind of territory.
Yeah, use that line.
If they get a try here, we might be up for a grandstand finish. John Okafor takes clean ball at the line out again. That really is something that does tick for Leeds Beckett. If there are any crumbs of comfort to take from this match, it is that line-out set piece.
Run out wide here.
Again, that
final pass not quite going to hand.
It's not the conditions for those kinds of passes, is it, with a swirling wind? And now they're back to halfway, Leeds Beckett. And with that green wall, that Exeter defence, it's a long way from halfway to the try line. Shimmy inside there from Venables, but again he's driven backwards.
Tackled.
Big
Hands
Matt
out, Green.
Johnson comes to make the tackle. Miss out Francis, the try scorer. No space for Davies.
Exeter defence just driving him back, going back about 20 metres here from the line out.
Valentine was waiting a second receiver there, but it's another few metres lost.
One out runner just not doing the business for Leeds Beckett, and hands go towards the air.
Now they put boot to ball. Matt Blees on as a substitute. He has to chase backwards. Lines up the kick himself. Johnny Kay chased it, and that's a good touch finder. And Leeds Beckett back where they started nearly a dozen phases ago.
Yes, be sapping, be completely energy sapping, just going through the phases, not going anywhere, going backwards.
3 minutes.
So you like to try and see put a bit more shape on these pods, try and give themselves a bit more of an opportunity to go over the gain line.
4 plays.
Routledge, short line out again, clean ball again, and a good pick up off the toes again. Dan Grange had a little breather in the middle section of the game. He's come back on only to be driven back by the Exeter defence, which has been, well, nothing short of remarkable really in the second half.
Some tired bodies in this Beckett team now. Some tired and some battered bodies as well. Been a completely abrasive match.
Try and move. Thank you.
It's a big shot from Conor Raycombe flying off the line there. Recognised the one-off runner.
Certainly felt the left shoulder. There's Johnson, backed up by Jack Rouse.
It looks like Harry Robson's got his hands on the ball.
Didn't survive.
There's advantage coming here, is there?
He's unfortunate there, I think. Exeter just managed to recycle the ball.
And Exeter just seeing this one out.
When I get a chance to look at my watch.
Johnson again. Gareth Stevens making the tackle. He's another one himself.
90
Venables.
seconds.
As we go into the final 90 seconds. They've just not been able to get themselves into the game this evening.
No, they struggled to get a foothold in the game. Had one opportunity in the second half.
Watch.
I think this is the ball's gone straight out there, I think. So we've got a line out for Beckett, about 40 metres away from the line.
About a minute now.
Into the final minute. A converted score here would mean they pick up a bonus point.
Just wait.
I think neither team's really got going in the second half, have they?
No, I think Leeds Beckett have seen more of the ball. However, Exeter's defence has been exemplary. Oh, could this be the bonus point? A kick and chase here. It's going to be a foot race between Kelly and Venables, and it's scrappy.
Very well there. Down the ball and that.
Tackled. Release move.
There's a bit of space out left there that can shift it, I think.
Again, Leeds Beckett got the length of the field to go.
Inside.
If you're a better man, we won't put any money in them scoring a try here. They've struggled to create much here.
Well, not if the 79 minutes so far are anything to go by. And again, they kick possession away. Charlie Davies is going to chase all the way back. Johnny Kay's up on his own. He was a second half substitute. He's waiting for a little bit of support.
Touch.
Half charge down.
Straight to have to run this. It's a bit of a gap here.
No. Has he been tilted there? No, says the referee.
Been slowed right down. Beckett opts to go for the pick and go around the fringes.
No one on the blind side as Johnny Kay threats to get there for a second. Kick over the top for Johnny Kay to chase. How's this going to bounce? He's going to put pressure on Charlie Davies here. Needs to keep hold of him as he does incredibly well to offload the ball. That epitomises Exeter's afternoon.
And that's the final whistle. Fortunately for Beckett, kicking the ball away there and really needs to keep the ball in hand. But a very impressive display from Exeter tonight.
Well, Exeter unable to keep the scoreboard ticking in the second half, but it does not matter because they have another win. Their 6th of the season, their 6th in a row. They remain top. Full time here. Exeter 21, Leeds Beckett 10. And Exeter good for that win.
Yeah, the green machine just keeps on rolling, doesn't it? Just grinding teams down, and Beckett just didn't really have the answers to come up to the questions tonight.
Of course, from a Beckett perspective, it's another defeat, but I don't think they can have any complaints this evening. They went 3-0 up, but after that Exeter just took complete control of this game.
Yeah, it's difficult to get game to play when you're going backwards at set piece. Exeter had front foot ball consistently during that sort of 30-minute period, and Beckett unfortunately able to sort of answer those big carries, put them back on the back foot.
We've got a full-time score from Gilman's, and Hartbury's winning run is over. Hartbury 11, Bath 13. Another nail-biter. What a massive win that is for Bath.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive. I think Bath has sort of turned it around from last year. Towards the start of last season, really struggled. And Hartbury have gone pretty well, quietly going about the business, really. And yeah, it's just an interesting league this year. Everyone seems to be beating everyone. There's not one team really, Exeter aside, sort of grinding out results. No one side really sort of putting teams to the sword like.
Well, we have completed the full loop where now Cardiff University are off the mark. Every team has beaten everyone, which is a huge credit to BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti. We'll be grabbing some post-match interviews very soon. We'll be hoping to hear from the winning coach Keith Fleming, as well as man of the match Jack Rouse, and myself and Tristan Lloyd will be closing the show. But full time here, Exeter 21, Leeds Beckett 10. In fact, there is the crazy season. Cardiff, of course, with the victory against Northumbria, who beat Cardiff Met, who beat Bath, who beat Trent, who beat Loughborough, who beat Beckett, who beat Hartbury, who beat Durham, who beat Exeter. I can't think of another league as competitive as this one.
No, it's not. It's only 8 rounds as well, as it says there. So for that to be true, you know, it must be competitive. Like everyone could beat anyone on the day. It just depends what sort of team they put out and who travels the best as well. There's a lot of travelling to be had in this league.
Well, there weren't a lot of highlights in the second half. Just the one try that gave Leeds Beckett a glimmer of hope. It was Toby Francis who got that one, and they certainly stopped Exeter doing what they were good at in the first half, but Durham so impressive in defence. Well, it's 2 live matches this week. It was only one last week. Joe Burns talked us through Bath versus Durham. A fantastic win for the Palatinate. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Durham's most promising attacking position of the half. They've gritted it out defensively in their own 22. Can they enjoy themselves a little bit now with the ball in hand as Collins feeds straight? And he finds his inside centre, who's on a short line and cannot be stopped. Charlie Wilson, the returning Falcon has Durham flying high on the stroke of half-time. As the score reads, Bath 6, Durham 11, with a kick to come and a minute to go.
Yeah, strong run there. It's a bit too easy, I think, for the Durham boys there. Bath kind of not strong enough in defence there.
Bath will be very disappointed with this tackling. It was so direct, it was so obvious. He runs over Styles, and then Nisbet can't drag him down in time before Wilson crosses the paint and announces his return to this Durham side. A big mouth to feed from a young age, but a knock-on from him has given Durham primo platform to see if they can start this half with some points. Charlie Wilson takes another carry, he takes some stopping again. There's a fumble from Matt Welsh, but he keeps on driving those legs, and they're to within 3 meters. Who finds Henry Permain? And what a dream start for Durham. Bath caught napping again, the defence weak on the first hit. And the Palatinate are the beneficiaries, with Henry Parmain charging across the line after Matt Welsh couldn't be stopped. Look at him here, bumping his legs. Eventually Catlin brings him down, and then there's a multitude of runners for Collins to aim at, but it's Parmain, the Quins under-18 Academy product, who treats himself to his 3rd try of BUCS Super Rugby 2019.
Yeah, some strong carries there from Durham. Come out really energised, carrying with intent. Bath will be disappointed with that. It's about the worst possible start they could have made to the second half. So hopefully we'll, again, regroup from this kickoff and get back down there and get one of our own.
Rawstronrud slides the ball just inside the right hand upright. He carries. Sporthorpe calls for the ball. He shows, goes. He's been electric since he's got on. Slippery as an eel. But they carry once more. Foles this time. We've seen him in defence. Now we see him in attack. A powerful latch from Josh Basham propels his teammate through the gap.
Yeah, throwing off Will Hughes there, which isn't easy to do, let me tell you.
A missed ball, it's a show and go from Henry Parmain. The winger buys it and he crashes over for his 2nd of the game. Durham's 3rd of the game, his 2nd of the half. And a killer blow for Bath University.
Yeah, a lot of dominance being shown from Durham, going through the phases really nicely and just carrying with intent, and they've got their reward.
Is into the feet of the powerful Catlin, who's yo-yoed between this BUCS side and the Bath A-League team. And Bath just cannot find a way through at the moment, but maybe they have now. No, they're half a metre short as they attack the post, and they find a way to squirm the ball across the line.
Yeah, I think James Hadfield's just gone over, which he'll be really pleased with. As I say, it's quite clever from Bath there, making their way towards the post. And obviously the rulings now is if you touch down on the pad, it's the referee awards a try. So it's quite clever there from the Bath pack.
Yes, a regular tactic we see now in the game, but do you know what? He didn't even need the pad. He managed to take the ball across the line despite Ben Foles' efforts. Do they know? The referee calls time. Colin puts the ball out, and the final whistle is blown here at the STV, signalling the end of an absorbing BUCS Super Rugby fixture brought to you by Yoti, and it is the Palatinate of Durham who come out on top, defeating the Brothers 13 points to 27.
There for Durham away at Bath, and they followed that up with a victory at home to Cardiff tonight. But let's concentrate on what's happened here this evening. Exeter 21, Leeds Beckett 10. It's another victory for your team, Keith, but it was a real test this evening.
Yeah, no, it was a massive test, and Leeds just kept coming and coming and coming. You know, from my perspective, the boys put in some fantastic D sets, but all credit to Leeds. You know, they just wouldn't stop coming. So we had to be at our best.
The tries were very familiar in those close areas close to the line. Your forwards are so disciplined, and they don't let you down.
No, we do a lot of work on it, and you know, we work hard at it. So when we get that close, we want the points.
Coming into the second half, it looked like you could run away with it when the half-time whistle went. It won't keep for too long as the rain's starting to come down here. Leeds did get back into the game territorially, and what was discipline in attack had to become discipline in defence in the second half.
Yeah, very much so. We just kept coughing up the ball and giving back possession quite easily. So we were definitely on a D shift for most of that second half. And again, credit to the boys, they did put in some fantastic sets. And when it looked like Leeds Beckett were just starting to get the edge in the scrum, those two prop forwards that you brought on made a massive difference. Yeah, we swapped them round, and those boys just put the oomph back in it. And with Hartbury slipping up, you've increased your lead at the top of the league. Now, before every match, you tell me that it doesn't really matter at this stage of the season, but that has to put a smile on your face. Yeah, no, it does. You know, obviously, the harder we work and the harder we can stay at the top end of the table come February, March time, you know, it will make a difference. So all the points, we picked up 4 points today on the road. They're very, very valuable points. And we've just got to really work really hard now, focus on next week's game. Well, as the rain comes down, I'll let you get in the dry. Let's present the Yoti medal to our man of the match, Jack Rouse. Straight over the head. Thank you very much, Keith. Have a safe journey home. Big smile on your face, but a few lumps on your face as well. That looked like a hard graft this evening.
Yeah, it was tough. They're a big physical team, as you can see. And yeah, it's good to come away with the 4 points coming up to Leeds in these wet conditions as well. And yeah, it makes it all worthwhile.
Probably the first time in your career on commentary this evening you've been referred to as Lady Gaga because the outfit change. What led to that? You've lost the scrum cap. Do you just want to be a bit more streamlined for the second half?
Yeah, it's a new look for me. I carried in the first half, and just me and another lad on their team bust our head open. So and it was playing up my scrum hat. So it can't show my rainbow laces and my scrum hat, so I had to take it off and rock the head tape.
There are some big old boys in that Leeds Beckett side. Obviously, as a big ball carrying back row forward yourself, you must relish these challenges. They're at the bottom of the league at the moment, but they've certainly got the capability to push on, right?
Yeah, massively. They got some big boys in their team. You know, their second row, their back row, across their kind of 15. They got some big boys. And to be fair, if you look at the start of the season, we put 40 points on them, and there's only 21. So they come on leaps and bounds. They nearly beat Hartbury last week, and like every game you can't take for granted. Like Cardiff won their game against Northumbria. It's literally taking it game by game, and working as you go.
And in terms of Exeter, you're top of the league now. I'm not going to say you look unbeatable because there's no such thing in BUCS Super Rugby, but you're finding ways to win against all kinds of opposition. It's looking pretty good for the Green Machine.
Yeah, it is. We're just trying to build that momentum, really. That's what you need in this league. Get a few wins on your belt, and you just take it game by game. Because if you take it for granted, you do slip up like we did at Bath, and any team can win. So it's just approaching each game as individual games and taking each one as it comes, really.
Well, congratulations. You are the Yoti man of the match. Go get a warm shower and a cold something else, and we look forward to catching you guys again soon. Jack Rouse there, man of the match. In the first of 2 live games this week, we are up at Kingston Park for Northumbria versus Loughborough. It's a mid-table clash, but it promises to be an absolute thriller on the 4G. Tristan, I know you've got a sore knee, mate, but come in to close the show. You are the former captain of this team. It must be tough to watch them slide to a defeat like that this evening.
Yeah, it's pretty ropey to watch that how it came about as well. Last year we were so proud of our sort of forward performances, so it was a bit disappointing to see us get beaten in that sort of aspect of the game. And once Exeter got on the front foot, it was just really hard to sort of turn the game around.
But we always look for positives. The set piece good for Leeds Beckett. They found the score. Toby Francis gave them a glimmer of hope, and there are certainly crumbs of comfort to build on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, hopefully this team's got some great players in it, some really, really good players. So it's just a case of getting back on the training pitch and putting it together. A lot of the time I found they lost their shape quite a bit, which made it easy for the Exeter defence to get off the line and make those 2-3 man shots. And really going forward, they need to sort of work on that aspect, and obviously the drive and maul defence as well is a particular area of concern.
And in terms of your personal performance, of course, you're looking back to get to action. Your knees on the mend, and we can see you tearing it up for Yorkshire Carnegie soon, right?
Yeah, hopefully next weekend. That's the plan anyway.
As soon as I've said that, the smile's lit up on your face. Good luck, and thank you for joining us this evening. And thank you for joining us as well. Some more soul-searching required for Leeds Beckett, and the green machine marches on. From all of us here at Emerald Carnegie and BUCS Super Rugby, presented by Yoti, we'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
The kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and it's quite versatile as well.